and we continue the journey that leads to the realization of your American dream. I'm your host, John Dye, and this is the American Contractor Show, where we explore and learn what it takes to be a successful contractor in today's world, providing you behind-the-scenes access to some of the best minds, tools, and companies in contracting. Join us and elevate your understanding and contracting knowledge on the American Contractor Show. Hey folks, and welcome to today's edition of the American Contractor Show. We have a very special tech showcase lined up for you today, and this is one of my favorite products on the market, and I'm really excited that we get to dig into it and actually see how it works behind the scenes. I've seen the finished product several times, I've seen their estimates, and they look amazing, but SumoQuote is going to show us exactly why you need to become a SumoQuote customer, but not just that, but why this product can really revolutionize your business. So with us today is the CEO, the one and only Mr. Ryan Shantz himself. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today.
John, it's great to be here. Thanks so much for having me, man.
Ryan, I'm really excited that you guys wanted to do this because this is one of the coolest pieces of software that I've seen come out of the industry so far. It's really revolutionary, and I've seen, a lot of contractors using these estimates with great results, but I've never actually seen how it works. So to get this chance today is going to be pretty awesome. It's quite the treat.
Thanks, man. No, it's a treat to be on the show, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun as a roofing contractor myself, somebody that owns a roofing business. Yeah, this is something that revolutionized our business and really motivated us to get it to market. So yeah, it'll be fun to go through with you today.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this. And so without further ado though, Ryan, let's hop in here and take a look at this software and see how it works, because I'm really thrilled about this.
Yeah, I know, that sounds great. Well, for people that haven't seen SumoQuote before, I usually start by showing a sample or two of what the actual output looks like at the end, because this is the magic is with the homeowner, and the homeowner being impressed, and it increasing your closing rates and helping you sell upgrades. And really at the end of the day, sales is the thing that drives a business. So that's the thing that we can really help work with the company on.
So this is really a really good sales tool then, right?
It is, yeah. We focus heavily on the sales side, and we really focus on, obviously speed is important, making it so that you can scale your sales team easily without guys being able to mess things up is important. But that impact you're going to have on the homeowner. The big part about SumoQuote that most other tech doesn't really touch on out there is how can you impact the homeowner. And the big impact that it has there is the homeowner is the ultimate decision maker. Your salesperson may not always be sitting with the homeowner when they're getting this thing signed. Your quote will be there 100% of the time when a homeowner is making a decision. So that's why this is so critical, that you really stand out from the competition in this way.
Man, that's exciting. I'd love to see it. So let's dive right in. This looks really cool.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, so what we started is the homeowner's home. We put it on the cover, and the reason we do that is the homeowner loves their house. They have their Christmases and Thanksgivings there. They maybe brought their firstborn back there. This is a place that has a lot of emotion for them. And so when we start targeting the subconscious and putting in these things that they love, suddenly we start getting them to love our quote. And obviously it stands out from a very generic looking one out there. We've got an introduction page. There's lots of templates for this stuff, so you can quickly switch between retail, insurance, commercial, residential, all of that stuff. And one of the unique things with SumoQuote is just how easy we make it to stitch in custom marketing pages. So that might be out of a brochure from a type of shingle that you're using, or it might be how your company is different from other companies out there. So you can start to craft and weave these things in directly to your quote, so a homeowner's not guessing about your company or what's going on, and just relying on what the sales guy said a week ago when they talked to him and they can't remember it anymore. John, one of the cool things on this page with our roofing company, we started just embedding a link, a very simple YouTube link behind an image. And so a homeowner can actually click right from the PDF and have a video testimonial open up of a customer talking about the experience they had with Epic Roofing. That's been a really cool thing that we've seen people using and having an impact on the sale.
So this is a real company, Epic. This is your guys' company, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a real company.
I thought this was like a demo, like make-believe company. No, this is the real deal, what you guys actually use when you guys sell roofs.
This is the real deal. Epic Roofing. Last year we had a really strong sales year because we had a pretty good insurance storm or hailstorm roll through for insurance. But we sold over $35 million worth of roofs last year using SumoQuote.
No kidding. Wow.
So
good for you guys.
Yeah, it's a pretty significant company we've built up, and SumoQuote's been pretty powerful in the impact that it's had with growing the business.
That's so cool.
Here, I'll jump back to the quote here. So an inspection page, it's always great to show the client what's going on, and they comprehend things so much faster if you can visually show it than try and talk and describe what a dead spot or a cricket is when you're going through this stuff, right? By the way, we got a slick integration with Company Cam that I can show you here too.
That's cool.
This is a retail one, so I'm doing a good, better, best. So here I'm giving them the good quote, the better, and the price. And you see I'm really focusing actually on the advantages here, trying to show the homeowner this is what's different about this package and why you should spend a couple $1,000s more on it. And then I go into the best from there. From there, the homeowner is now signing. They're making the decision. So here's the packages they can select from. They've got optional upgrades on there. And they can do product selections and e-signing. Everything's kind of baked right in. Of course, when they're signing, they're picking colors. So then we stitch in colors for them to look at and check out. So they can go through those color options. And then finally, you always need to have your legal in there. So we put it in, but we put it at the back because it's not really something that adds a lot of value for a homeowner. So that's kind of a quick retail quote.
So this is what comes out. This is the actual quote that comes out from a contractor's perspective.
That's right. So the contractor plugs the information in. SumoQuote, it's basically like taking, maybe it's a copy of your liability insurance, it's brochure pages, it's multiple quotes, it's upgrades, it's all this stuff. It's basically like you've given that as a contractor to a professional graphic designer, and the professional graphic designer hands it back to you, except SumoQuote helps that whole process happen in a matter of minutes, right, to get something like this.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love it. Okay, yeah, well, I'd like to see the other one, the insurance agreement.
Well, yeah, and this is an interesting one, just to show you how this can work. This is assuming a homeowner has an Xactimate report that's been provided to them from their insurance adjuster at this point. Obviously, you could do it without that, but I just kind of want to show you in that context.
Okay.
So in that context, we're talking about that we're a professional residential roofing company that's handled 1,000 insurance claims. We're detailing the process of the insurance claim and how we're going to work with them, right? We want to reinforce to them that we can be trusted and that people trust us. So we go through this. Maybe we mention a referral program because odds are their neighborhood has been hit. Easy to stitch in all those photos, show them the damage of what you were finding up there and how you can work with them. Now, this is the quote details page, which is really different from your standard quote details page. And in this, what we're focusing on is the responsibilities of the company. So we're talking about how we're going to add value to the homeowner and why they should sign with us. So it's explaining how we're going to work through the process, how we're going to be an advocate for them, how we're going to start investing a ton of time and energy. This down here, this 19,851, I'll show you as we go through this. And sorry, we said right here, we're going to complete repairs on your property as laid out in your insurance estimate, right? And that their authorization will apply should the total value change is directed by their adjuster, so supplements. Mm-hmm. But this 19,851, right? We go through, we get them to sign off on upgrades. They pick their colors, they do all this stuff. But with SumoQuote, you can actually just drag and drop in a copy of their approved Xactimate report. So cool. When you're saying we're going to complete repairs as laid out in your insurance estimate, and you've put in the value 19,851, now you've actually stitched in the details of that, and you've tied it directly to the value here as well. So it's all part of a single contract, a single presentation to them.
I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, here, let me show you.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, all the insurance guys out there, because I know Xactimate is the standard, but
Right.
you still need to sell the job. You still need to show the homeowner you're going to be professional. And guys leave money on the table all the
Oh
time by
my
not selling
goodness.
upgrades. So here, I'll show you. So SumoQuote, this is it. So this is where you would log in. And this one, we've got a couple of really great integration partners right now. Company Cam, Job Nimbus, Eagle View. You know, we've got some new ones coming up, which is exciting. But I'm going to create this one out of Company Cam. So I just search for a customer name or address, and I select that and I link that. So what that does is it pulls in the homeowner information automatically, creates the project automatically, but now all of the photos in this project with SumoQuote are automatically linked to that specific project in Company Cam so that you can quickly add photos through this. One other thing here I'm going to show you, John. So yeah, we can order Eagle Views through here and stuff. These measurements, this is something really new. So roof measurement tokens, you can come in here and you just start punching in whatever your measurements are. Give us a week or two. We're going to have this being pulled in directly from Eagle View so that all this stuff is instant, right? But you start putting in what the measurements are, and then your roof accessories, maybe you go through and you say, hey, there's 8 vents on this place, a couple of goosenecks, a few pipe jacks, we need a couple of bins on here, right? And so on. So you go through here and fill this information in. I'm going to hit save on this. So now that I've put my measurements in, what I can do, I'll go in here, I'll start creating a report. And these pages are going to start to look familiar now. So a title page, an introduction, an inspection. So this title page is turned on. All I'm going to do is go down to my primary image, and I'm going to get this out of Company Cam because I've got this linked. So it's the Company Cam data there with the SumoQuote interface. We select the image we want. We drop the house on. I hit view page up here to see what this is going to look like from the homeowner's perspective.
Wow.
And this thing's done. Cover page is done already.
Wow. It's so clean. I like it.
Yeah, thank you. Introduction page, just as easy, if not easier. So here I can go, I can grab a template. I can use my insurance one in this case. Hi, customer first name. Thanks for the opportunity. You know, kind regards, salesperson's name, salesperson title. And I just go view page on this. And my introduction page is done already as well.
That's amazing.
So yeah, your standard thing, you're going to go through here. These inspection photos, you can drag and drop them in there. You don't need to use Company Cam. We love our partners over there. So now you can pull in the base image, or you can pull in the annotated image.
Oh, wow.
So you can pull in the pre-marked up images from Company Cam. It's up to you, right? So I grab a couple of those, and I'm going to drop those in. And so it processes it out of Company Cam into SumoQuote. We maybe reorder these. And I'm going to go in here and just edit this quickly as well, right? So I can zoom in and out on this. I can drag this around so that I get it centered right. And then I'm just going to mark this thing up quickly. You know, so I select my color in here, you know, select my tools in here, and I just say, hey, we're going to replace these flashings here.
Good idea.
And it's all just done quickly and easily right in the system here.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah, it's pretty fun, man. Quote details, roofing quote. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to go use a different template here. I'm going to hit this one up here. And you can see I've got my all my line items linked. So all those measurements that we had put in, it just built the entire thing here instantly. And I
you
can
just
check on each
build
of
out
these.
this pricing however you need to internally, right? Yes, it's got the price.
So in here, your price, your labor, your markup, you know, it's pulling in. This is just like Excel, the total roof area, suggested waste percentage divided by 33 to get to a per bundle.
Okay.
So it's taking those things. So if I want to say, you know, hey, my waste percentage, I don't want it to be 8, I want it to be 12. Well, that's going to be 95 bundles here instead, right?
Okay.
I want it to be 18. That's going to be 100 bundles. And then I just hit save on this, and it drops in the quantity for it.
Nice.
Yeah. So all these things can be broken out with whatever equations, waste factors, how to convert it to a per bundle, per square, per piece, whatever you'd like. But yeah, that thing of adding the measurements, and really what you could do rather than building all of this out step by step, you can go up here and go choose a different layout. And I'm going to use my retail roofing layout here. And you can have pre-built entire layouts of your entire quote. So by adding the measurements, going to your cover page, dropping on that image, you can be done building an entire quote literally in about 45 to 60 seconds off of your phone on site.
That's so cool.
So yeah, that was the measurements and the layouts are new features. But it took building it in SumoQuote from 5 to 10 minutes down to about 30 seconds, 45 seconds in it, right? And you've got everything in here where even your upgrades, you've got, your waste percentages added to your, hip and ridge numbers, calculations, everything calculates instantly for you and then can be signed. You can sign it right on an iPad, right in person, standing with the homeowner, or you can send it for signing. They can email it.
So it's all e-signature ready to go. You don't have to go through and build it into some other e-signature platform. You guys already do everything within SumoQuote.
It is all e-signature ready to go. Yeah,
That's
just
cool.
hit review and share. You send it for signing. The homeowner clicks on it to view it, and it's done.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. I love it.
I'll show you one other thing here just in building a quote and a presentation. This add custom page, this is one of my favorite parts. If I click on that and I add a custom page here, it's almost like Dropbox. You can have your entire library of brochures, of company marketing pages, whatever you would like in here. So if you're a platinum preferred with OC, you could have a marketing page. And if I go view this, you could have a marketing page that's just sitting in there saying, hey, here's the difference of the system protection versus the platinum protection. And you come in here, you click on it to select it. And then on the left side of the page here, I'm going to click on this. I'm just going to drag and drop this up and put it wherever I want it to be in here. So all of these pages, you can drag and drop around to reorder wherever you want them to be in your presentation, so that it's totally custom how you want them.
Yeah, so you're walking through the process the way you want them to receive the information. That's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and again, up here, maybe we flip it over to a contingency agreement or a final authorization quickly. So you can be at the door, have all of your standard generic pages and everything set up for contingency, but you're not just putting, so the thing I say with a contingency agreement is oftentimes contractors just use a legal document, 1 page, 2 pages, 5 pages, whatever. But if it's just this legal document with a whole bunch of words and that's all it is, really as a homeowner, when I see that, the thought that goes through my mind is, okay, great. So what you're telling me is I'm screwed. Because I guarantee you every word in here protects you, the contractor. There's nothing in here that protects me. If you can create a contingency agreement that's really visual, that's reinforcing how you're going to help them, that's adding value to them, that's giving social proof and showing how you've worked with other people, now you've given them something that they can trust you on and they feel a lot more comfortable signing. But you still include the terms and conditions at the end of it.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense, and that's the way you're hitting the nail on the head when it comes to understanding how clients' minds are thinking or what their gears are thinking. And this is a common objection that we have to overcome with contractors or with homeowners. And we had this conversation during our last boot camp. But what's the main reason why someone doesn't want to do business or doesn't want to move forward with the plan? They don't trust us. And so this creates a level of trust it's really everything's right there. All the information's there. I'm sure you could include reviews and other things, some testimonials to help make that even more, better as part of the sales process right within SumoQuote.
Totally. Yeah. All of that stuff is really easy to do. And yeah, you nailed it. Like, we want to establish trust, but how do we know that our salesperson, who hopefully comes across as trustworthy, the next person that knocks on the door well, why can't they sound trustworthy as well? Even if they're a terrible contractor, you don't know, but
Right.
you kind of got to assume that the competition out there is doing good things as well. So now it's that concept of a brand experience, right? So when you show up, you don't just have a clean golf shirt and you're not driving a rusty, dirty old truck, right? It's the clean golf shirt, it's the clean truck, it's the trained salesperson. But now it's that consistent brand experience of now you're giving them a really professional presentation and quote that is outstanding compared to everything else there. And now the homeowners, there's nothing that's falling off there. Whereas if anything feels off to the homeowner through that whole process, the brand starts to fall apart a little bit and they start to get a lot more suspicious that maybe it's going to fall apart in production as well. So you want to make sure it's totally consistent and tight that whole way through the sales process.
I agree with that for sure. So this is a phenomenal tool just for showing a homeowner a presentation and giving them all the information they need. I can imagine that the conversion rates on these are much higher than someone showing up with a 3-part piece of paper and handwritten estimate, or even a 1-page of just a bunch of line items. This tells a story in a whole different way.
Well, and I'll give you 2 stories on that. So one, actually not a story, just more of the facts on our company. Our closing rate on our retail quotes, insurance numbers can be up and down depending on storms and stuff, right? But our retail quotes we were tracking, our closing rates went from 27% to 44%.
Wow.
When we started doing this, which was millions of dollars of additional work. Like, it was crazy how well it worked. And my one guy, he went out, he connected with the homeowners. One of these homeowners that was like, yeah, Grant, just, I'm getting other quotes. Don't think you're just getting my business here, right? And he's giving him the gears and stuff. And Grant's like, yeah, that's fine. And so Grant's talking to him and he goes through and he goes back to the office. And so he puts something together and sends it to him, an hour later. Well, the guy picks up the phone and calls Grant 10 minutes after he gets it. And he's just like, Grant, I'm not just giving you my work, right? Like, I'm getting other quotes, but holy smokes, man, I just had to tell you, I have never seen a quote like that in my entire life. Like, this thing is unbelievable. And if you think about it like this, when was the last time, John, that you got an invoice for something and you were so overwhelmed with it that you had to call the company to be like, holy smokes, this invoice is incredible. Thank you for sending it to me.
It's such a beautiful invoice. Let me write you a check.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, but it's that concept. Like, you're appealing to the emotions of the homeowner. You're trying to target their subconscious with how you go through this stuff. And it's powerful when you do it well.
I agree with that. This is phenomenal. This is such a great tool. This is something that if you're a contractor watching this right now and you don't have this, you better hurry up and get on this before your competition does. Because I would hate to go up against someone that's using this and I'm used to using like a pen and paper or something else that's not SumoQuote and doesn't look like this.
Yeah, we get a lot of feedback where somebody comes back to us a week after they've started using SumoQuote and they're just like, man, the first quote I put out was a $50,000 one. The guy just signed and took upgrades and didn't negotiate. It was unbelievable. Like, yeah, it's so fun hearing back from people after they start using us. We had one company, an indie company there actually. They started using us last March. In May, they sent us an email and they were just like, hey, just so you know, we just had our top year in our 12-year history in the middle of COVID here right now. We were budgeting for 1.2 million in sales. We sold over 2.4 million in sales.
Wow.
Like, it blew it out of the water. And their top sales guy was like, that's great. Like, I'll email quotes over to people. And I wake up in the morning and I've just got alerts of like, oh yeah, here's 3 quotes that were just signed while I was sleeping. It's so easy. Like, it just piles the work in. So yeah, it's pretty fun hearing that stuff from people.
That's cool. And it's the reality though. Like, this is a tool that if you don't have it and everyone else has it and you're going up against people that don't have this tool and you're out there putting this out there, this is a game changer.
We have something new here, John.
Hold on a second.
There's something new. So this is something, I don't even know if we're charging for it yet. But there's an add-on that we're
Wait,
bringing
you're the
on here,
CEO. You need to find out if they're charging for this.
Oh man, things are out of control over here with SumoQuote. So The guys move quicker than I can even keep up with. It's great. But yeah, thanks for pointing that out, John. So we launched something recently here called Customer Pro. So it's this new way of how you can engage with a homeowner, so that you can give them some more access and be more transparent. And there's a couple of ways that we're doing this. So I'm going to go down to this one here, and you can see that I've got my Pro on here on this one. So I've activated this. So, and then the homeowner's been invited to this. So this is our level. We've got 2 levels, one where you can invite a homeowner and give them access kind of as a customer portal, and one where you can't, where you use it more as an in-home presentation tool. So this one I've invited them to. So I'm going to go into the customer's account here. And so this is what the homeowner would see. They would get an email, they'd hit a link, it would bring them straight in here. They would see their house at the cover, as the cover image here. They would see your branding in here and stuff. And they would have access to see the project, what's going on. If we go down on this, we've got built-in virtual meetings. So this whole concept of Zoom and sending them Zoom links and stuff, you can get rid of that. The homeowner just gets access to their account. They hit a button, full video, full audio, full screen sharing. You can run fully virtual sales all directly through here.
Wow. This is a game changer. Wow.
This is, yes, this will be
level.
A very big deal, I think.
Oh, no, this is a huge deal. Okay. This is really cool. So this is basically their own website to monitor the progress of the sale and the project itself, essentially, and communicate. It looks like I see some other tools back here on the left. I'm probably getting ahead of you, but this is awesome.
Yeah, so we basically, we create a custom website, right? It's that custom portal for them, but they can go through here. You can give them access so that they can see photos from their project, the photos that you choose to give them and go through with this stuff. And then the rest of this homepage here, it's basically like a landing page. So put in a video on your company, right? If you don't have a video on your company, put in a video on the shingle you install. There's tons of content out there. Have a welcome to them and explain the area here. You can create image galleries. So maybe it's a project gallery, maybe it's a certification gallery, maybe it's a testimonial gallery, and they can go through here either with you or on their own and actually do a lot of their research so that they can understand the type of company you are. And if you think about it like this, John, like think about you're going out for dinner. I don't know about you, but I always research the restaurant. How many stars do they have? What are the reviews?
I don't know.
What's their menu?
My wife makes fun of me. I use Yelp, and she's always telling me that I'm too old and that Yelp is an old person thing. So I don't.
Yelp is an old person thing.
Do you agree with this? Oh my! She was
Yelp
just in here and she just walked
thing.
out, and I wish she. I can't. We can't talk about this anymore because this is like a sore subject to me.
We'll pass on that. You can edit that out in post-production so your wife doesn't see it. But I mean, you think about a $10,000, $20,000 roof. Of course, the homeowner wants to know and understand that you can be trusted, that you've got good reviews, like all that stuff. You can put all that stuff in here and make it super easy for them so that they see and understand that, right?
I like it. This is really cool.
Yeah. Well, and then, I mean, keep going through, man. You can load videos in there. So it could be videos for, whether it's about Scotchgard with Atlas or something with Malarkey or James Hardy. You can put brochures in there. So this is a very sales-centric space, but it's that concept of mass customization where, it automatically loads the customer's house in there. It's putting their photos in there. It feels very personal to them, but it's all stuff that's easily set up. With a few links and stuff by you.
What I really like about this, and I think this is where a lot of contractors kind of get in a rut that they don't realize that they're in, is they expect their CRM to do all this. But I don't think they understand, like, a CRM is great for internal communications and gathering data as a company for your business. But this is like an external CRM with the customer. Like, this is building this direct relationship with the client on a whole different level. It's outward facing. And combine this with a CRM, and this is extremely, extremely powerful.
Yeah, you nailed it. Like we think heavily about being homeowner facing. and that
Right.
impact that we can have. And obviously it needs to be fast, it needs to be efficient. I mean, when you start to, if somebody chose to use this virtual presentation tool, you can sit at your desk and just pound through meeting, right? Close a client, close a client, close a client. You're not going there on the weekends and in evenings. You're not interrupting dinner for them. You look way more professional, and it's way more convenient. You're not driving across town all over the place to get this stuff done.
Well, in 2021, this type of tool obviously is just so important to the success of a company. This is what sets you apart. This is what all the huge Fortune 500 companies are using tools like this. And the problem is, our industry is so fragmented and so, mom and pop. Now you're giving them the power to do what their biggest competitors are doing right at their fingertips. This is huge.
Yeah. Well, I always sort of say, roofing contractors, we tend to all compare ourselves to other roofing contractors, right? Well, hey, I'm doing better than this guy in my marketing or whatever it is. We don't compare ourselves to Amazon,
Right.
to our banking and how we do banking these days. Even grocery stores, man. Like, I got 3 young boys, 6 and under. You think spending an hour in a grocery store is fun? That's the last thing I want to do. If I can order it online and they can drop it off at my door, or even if I just drive up to the grocery store and they walk it out to my vehicle and put it in for me and I drive away, like, that's where everything is going. Customer experience is going. Roofing contractors, we're getting there. We're lugging a little behind, but we can catch up, and there's some pretty powerful stuff that you can do with this.
This is amazing. Show me some more of this, because there's some other stuff in here too. I'd like to see how it works.
Yeah, you bet. So view and sign quotes. So you had asked before about being able to e-sign. So here's copies of signed quotes or agreements. Here's one requiring your signature. So if a salesperson or a contractor wasn't using Customer Pro, they don't have to. Just out of SumoQuote, when they send the email to the homeowner clicks a button. This is what the homeowner gets to see. They just don't see this stuff here. And so they can go here and they can go through the whole presentation and have it all at their fingertips, right? And they go through and they look at the package they want, they look at the upgrades they want, they do all that. Then the homeowner would just hit next down at the bottom here. And now they would just go through, select the package they want, grab some upgrades as they're going through this, put in their roof color, make some notes, and then just sign this thing. So they can hit a button, sign it, it's done. So that's how all of our signing works.
I'm just watching this and I'm thinking, like, when I've sold roofs before, the homeowner will basically be like, hey, make sure you don't forget this, make sure you don't forget that, don't do this or do that, or here's how it works, like, watch my flowers, whatever. And you as a salesperson are thinking, oh, that's really cool, I'll make sure to do that, but you forget to put it in. This solves that problem. Which is huge, because that's what customers care about. May not matter to us as much, but to them, that's what's important at that point.
Totally. Easy for them to drop some notes in there just with SumoQuote. And we're talking about our Customer Pro quite a bit here, but SumoQuote proper, that's really the nuts and bolts of everything. Like, just getting set up with SumoQuote proper, that's your first step. And then the rest of this you can kind of get into as you start to get more comfortable and get everything built out, right?
Right.
Here, the chat I was going to show you, here's just a running history. It's like Slack, right? Hey, the homeowner was commenting on some photos that I dropped in. Looks rough. Let's get the quote signed ASAP. Hey, thanks for signing that. Here's a glimpse of how we're going to do repairs. Put in a YouTube link, showing how your company works in production. Great. Just let my wife know when they're going to be delivering shingles. You bet. Created an event for a shingle delivery. Like, it's all tracked, the whole conversation. So the handoff from sales to production is totally seamless.
Right.
Just somebody else starts replying to the homeowner, not the salesperson. It's production instead then, right?
I love it.
And then meetings, right? You can request a meeting in here. You can see the meetings coming up. When it's time for a meeting, if you've made it a video meeting, you can start that meeting right through here. So the homeowner just comes in where everything's been happening. They start the video meeting, you start the video meeting, and you're off to the races. And then files, right? So maybe the homeowner drops in a copy of their approved insurance quote. Maybe you're putting in photos or brochures, but you can have access at your fingertips to all the brochures that you may need as you go through this. So, John,
So
I mentioned
convenient.
there was 2 levels to this.
Yeah.
That first level of just getting going with this, that first level would be, think about it as in-home presentations. So you can sit here with their house on your iPad, run your full presentation, view and sign the quotes, and you can have all of your files sitting there.
Okay.
That second level, if you want to really try and up your game and take it to that different level of customer experience, then we give you the ability to invite the homeowner and to add the chat and to add the meetings. So now it's all the interaction stuff that we add. So you can run this Customer Pro in-home. All you're doing, you're using it as the in-home sales presentation tool. Everything's at your fingertips. You're not dragging around, paper copy of your quote and brochures and all this stuff. But then the virtual is the next level up, and you can pick this person, is going to be in-home level. This person's going to be virtual level. It's
based on the customers. Yeah, because sometimes you have some customers that aren't tech savvy. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you want to make sure it fits with the experience that you want to provide. You just want to have the ability to provide any type of experience that they want.
Yeah, I get that for sure. Man, this is so cool.
So, yeah, I mean, it's
a game changer.
If people are interested in SumoQuote, start with just SumoQuote proper. We've got some really good price lists, templates. Because I've got such a roofing background, I've built a ton of stuff in here, and we're always happy to share that content so that contractors can really get set up in a day. They drop their branding in, we give them some templates, and they can kind of be off to the races within a couple of hours. It's not as heavy in getting going for the impact and the power and the value that it has as an output as what it would feel.
I agree. And here's the thing, and this is why I love tech showcases, is because these tools are not hard to use, and they're such powerful pieces of equipment that can really take your sales game to the next level, take your business to the next level. And they're not hard to get. Like, you guys have made it so easy, Ryan. The way that this whole thing is laid out, this is simple, and it looks amazing. This used to take me, I would try to come up with a nice presentation for maybe like an HOA or a big commercial project. Rarely would I have the time to sit down and do this for a homeowner, because it just takes so much time. You're going to spend, sometimes hours building these presentations up to make them look half as good as what you guys have done. That takes seconds to do. So kudos to you guys. This is phenomenal. This is a tool that I'm really proud that we're able to show this off on the American Contractor Show, but it fits right into our niche. Like, we want to help bring the industry up and present this type of tool to contractors and give them an edge just because they're here checking out the American Contractor Show. This is what it's all about. Thank you, Ryan, so much for showing this off today.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. And John, I'm going to sneak one last thing in here. Just that people know sort of how versatile this can be. Like, it's retail quotes, contingency agreements, inspection reports. You're just toggling pages on and off. You mentioned one thing there about trying to really stand out to an HOA on a really big job. Well, if it's something like that, just create a case study, drag and drop it into your presentation, and it's done. So if you're doing a big hardy job and you want to show them, yeah, we got the experience to do this. We've built case studies of big projects that we've done. We'll explain the client, the engineers, the products, all of that stuff, and then we'll just show them how beautiful it looks at the end. It's that proof that we were talking about. If you can prove to them you're capable of this, they can trust you, you're competent. Look at these reviews. Don't just look at the views. Look at our past projects and how amazing they are. There's so many different ways you can use this stuff. It's really, when you start digging in, it's really cool. The types of things you can stitch into your presentation and how you can really use it to stand out.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy this day and age that we're living in. The tools are all right there. We can go from 0 to 100 so much faster than it took us to go before because of tools like this. This is amazing, and this is such a cool deal to watch. And like I said, that type of case study or putting that into a presentation, building that stuff out, man, that would take me hours, or I'd have to hire someone to do it, just a graphic designer to make it look nice. You guys have made this so easy. Thank you, Ryan, so much for all that you guys are doing at SumoQuote and for coming up with this tool that's going to you guys could have kept this to yourselves, but you guys are sharing it and revolutionizing the entire industry. Thank you so much.
Totally, John. Thanks for having me, man. It's been a blast hanging out with you, and thanks for letting me show a bit of SumoQuote and what we've been up to over the last little while here.
Agreed, man. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching today's show. Make sure to like and subscribe our pages so that you can stay up to date with every episode. And by the way, this show is all about you, the American Contractor. Be sure to comment and let us know what you want to hear about and what subjects you want us to touch on. We'll be sure to include them in a future episode. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great day.